Hello, my love. Welcome back to another video. As you can see that this background is completely different because I'm actually back in Melbourne, Australia, which is absolutely crazy because I thought I was going to be living overseas, and the story of how I got back is one of the coolest, craziest stories from God, and I will have to share it with you one day. But for now, please make sure that you hit the like, the subscribe, and please comment down below any questions that you have. Tell me where you are tuning in from. I love when you drop a comment below. That makes me feel connected to you, and it makes me know what more content you would love to see. So today I want to be talking all about how to enter the dating scene empowered, confident, and knowing exactly what you want. And before I go forward, I really want to share the neuromanifestation rewire course that you can get in the link below if you want to learn how to rewire your subconscious mind, your beliefs, in order for your reality and your life to change so fast. If you want to create any sort of fast and permanent change in your life, you always have to work from your subconscious mind. You always have to work from the root cause of why your life is a certain way. You don't change your love life, you don't change your money story from changing your external. You don't take different actions, you don't buy more courses or invest in this business coach. It's not about the external, it's more about how and what you believe deep down, and then adding that strategy on top, adding the action on top will get you magical results. So I teach you step by step on how to spot a limitation or a belief system that is no longer serving you, or the subconscious belief and the pattern that is holding you back from the life you truly desire, from the love you truly desire, from the type of money you want to make. And I help you give you every single subconscious rewiring modality in order to change that belief, in order to rewire it and change your story. So if you want to get in, I highly recommend you get in quick. The prices are about to rise to full price. I want to make sure that in the next month, in the next week, in the next year, you're going to be so incredibly empowered in the dating process. And I went from a girl who literally would get cheated on, who would get lied to, would be mistreated by men because the first man in my life physically and emotionally hurt me. And because of that, it was a self-fulfilling prophecy where my brain could only spot out that level of treatment because that was what was familiar. So then it became this pattern where I would seek out and I would give my time and my energy to the wrong man over and over again until I learned how to rewire my subconscious mind. Until I truly did the inner work and I changed how I perceived men, I changed how I perceived myself, and the dating process has now been absolutely incredible. I am telling you, since the start of this year, I've been dating and I've been taken out to the best restaurants in the city, the most fine dining. I'm talking, he'll take me to the spa, he'll give me massages, I'm talking about flowers or little gifts, and always opening the door for me, always making sure everything is paid for. He is someone that will respect me in the dating process. And for example, if I am wearing heels and I'm walking down the stairs, he will always make sure to hold onto my arm or my back and to make sure that I'm walking down the stairs safely. An Uber is always there to pick me up, or he will pick me up himself. So it is crucial to understand that you as a woman, you do not need to lift a finger. You do not need to do anything in the dating process. If I can go from someone that would literally been lied to, who had the worst of the worst treatment and begging for a man to stay in her life, to getting this level of treatment now where I literally don't even need to lift a finger and I feel so in love. Like I just absolutely adore men. I think they're amazing. I appreciate them so much. And I never seen so much beauty, discipline, admiration in just these incredible men. And it's because I trained my brain to spot these men out. And that therefore I choose who I give my time and my energy to. So if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that one night, this was about maybe a week or 2 weeks ago, here back in Melbourne, and I went to an event because I wanted to make friends, because I want to explore more of what Melbourne has to offer. And because I've been away for the last 2 years, I felt like I was different and I want to be able to explore the people that think like me a lot more. So I went to an event, and I'm not kidding when I say I've never had so many men give me their phone numbers in one night. The most was 6, and this night, and that time, the 6 men that gave me my number was 2 or 3 nights before I left Colombia. Now this time, I had 9 men give me their phone numbers, and mind you, maybe there were like 14 men in the room. So it just goes to show that this work works. That I've never been this magnetic. I have never been this in love with the dating process, never felt this empowered. And I have not only just helped myself, but every single client that I've ever helped that has come to me in the past for business, to leave their 9 to 5s, to have clarity and to become more successful in their careers, they have single-handedly always attracted their dream partner within the 3 months of working together, or the relationship with their husband has improved and grown. So I just want to say that this is such incredible work that when you truly implement it will change your life. And I want this not to just be for women, because the truth is, when you understand this and when you implement this work, not only are you changing and improving your life, but you are also allowing men to feel good about themselves. You're allowing men to be men, and both parties are actually incredibly fulfilled and happy in this process. Because it's not about getting princess treatment. It's not about what can I get from a man, or like how much money can I get from him, or how much can he do for me. It's about having conscious, fulfilling, and passionate relationships where you both parties feel heard, feel seen, feel respected, and feel cherished and trusted. And it is so important that you do not use people in this process. It's so important that you listen to your body in this process. You listen to your intuition, because as a woman, your intuition is the most powerful thing on this planet. Your intuition, your womb space, has the ability to create your life. Your feminine energy has the ability to build wealth for the right man. Your womb, your presence, your essence, everything about you as a woman has just the ability to multiply. When you understand this, you will see yourself as a literal diamond. Okay, so I want to get into, first and foremost, what you really need to do to fall in love with the dating process. So I really wanted a relationship. I went through a breakup and I left Australia. I really wanted a relationship. In my mind, I was saying to myself, no, I'm detached. I don't need one. But my energy was saying something completely different. My energy was needing and wanting, but my heart was closed. So it was like my mind, heart, and my intuition were all out of balance. None of them were in alignment. My head wanted something, my heart wanted something else, and my intuition was saying completely something else. So I really had to go deep down into my healing journey. I really went deep into healing and going within and pouring and clearing myself out of my abandonment wounds, of all the anxious attachment, fearful, disorganized attachment, all the fears that are in my body. And trust me when I say that this is a lifelong process. And the more that we do this inner work, the more that you are empowering yourself, your brain and your body will feel safe. It will be able to spot out what the right person is for you and what you should entertain and what you should just ignore. So because your brain has what we call a reticular activating system, I love speaking about signs because you may know that I have a background in psychology, so I understand things better with signs. Your reticular activating system will filter out, and this is a network of neurons in your brain, it will filter out what is important and what is not important. So this is the workings of when you want to buy that Adidas shoe, or when you want to buy that red car and you see red cars, or you see Adidas branded shoes everywhere. So in that sense, you will see what you place your focus and your attention to. And if your focus and attention to in your brain focuses on really strong, amazing men, and you know what they look like, that is what you will be able to spot and give your attention to. Okay? A lot of women, and the problem with the dating scene nowadays is that no one knows how to spot these red flags in a man. They don't know how to, and that's the problem with why women enter into these relationships and become so unhappy, they break up, and then they don't understand what went wrong. Or they look at it in hindsight and realize, oh my goodness, this was not the man that I wanted. This is not what I signed up for. I thought he was this way, X, Y, and Z. Okay, so I really want you to first and foremost do the subconscious and inner work, because that way you naturally can spot out the right man. You don't need to watch 10,000 Instagram videos. You don't need to watch 10,000 YouTube videos. When you do the subconscious work, trust me when I say you will have the natural intelligence to spot out what you want and what you don't want, and what is going to be good for you and what is not going to be good for you. Every time I rewired my subconscious, which is literally releasing stuck energy from the body, literally clearing out, crying my eyes out, bawling my eyes out to my inner child, to heal my inner child, to go into hypnosis when I'm generations back of my past, my parents, of a past life, going back into the womb when my mother is pregnant with me, going back to when I'm 4 years old, 6 years old, 7 years old, and clearing it. And they just keep coming up each time, again and again and again. So I want this to be a message to you to work on your subconscious. Please do this, because this will be the number one biggest game changer in your love life. And it's not reading more strategies on YouTube, or how to get princess treatment, or like buying a book about it, and absolutely they help. But please start with your subconscious beliefs first. And of course, the neuromanifestation course, the rewire course below will help you do that. Now, secondly, as you start to rewire subconscious and you're doing the inner work, naturally, you may up-level your entire life more, right? Because you start to fall in love with yourself, because you have this another level of self-worth, of self-love. You start to dress better. You start to make sure you only eat healthy. You exercise 5 to 6 times a week. You love movement. You love learning. You're always reading perhaps, or maybe you're always in a hobby where you allow yourself to be lost in it, whatever that hobby is for you. A really feminine hobby, I suppose, of mine is cooking and baking and dancing. And you always see me on my Instagram. I'm always dancing because I feel so good when I'm moving my body, when I'm moving my hips, when I'm literally allowing the energy to flow through me. And we know, and science shows us, that energy gets stuck in the body. So you allow that energy to move through you. So when you're taking care of your physical health, your emotional health, your mental health, your spiritual health, you become not just someone that looks good on the inside, but you're someone that radiate that from the outside, right? Your skin will start to glow differently. Your hair will grow differently. You look put together almost all the time, and you'll naturally want to do those things. It will not feel like a chore. You will naturally feel like if you didn't do those things, that's just not you anymore. Then you start to naturally want to up-level your style. I personally love now wearing skirts and dresses and feeling like a woman. I love heels, and if me 2 years ago was watching this video, would be just in awe or in shock. I love feeling my absolute best all the time. And because of that, people treat me completely differently. I will have men that I've just met a couple minutes ago wait for me to like get my Uber, who will make sure my door is open for me. These are men that I've never spoken to. When they see a feminine woman, they will just want to help you. So once you start up leveling your self love and you realize that your worth as a woman does not lie from anything outside of you, it does not lie in the money that you make, it does not lie in your face, it does not lie in your Instagram following, in your family's money, it does not lie in the bags, branded bags that you have, it does not lie in the friends that you have, the people that you know. Nothing external will determine your worth. Only you determine your worth. Only your inherent belief of who you are will determine your worth. And what happens is that a lot of the times we as women get clouded with emotions, programming, conditionings from the outside world that tell us that our worth is equated to what we do, the money that we make, who we are, X, Y, and Z, how we look. But when you start to realize and believe and see, because you've done the subconscious work, because you've done the inner work, the healing, and you've cleared out all the BS that is blocking you, I see them as clouds. So imagine if you're going in an airplane and you're going up and you're going through a thunderstorm, but then when you pass through the clouds, you can see there's just bright sun and sunlight, and it's clear as day. Okay, so that bright sunlight has always been there. It was always there. It's like this, you say, let's use the sun as your worth, and those dark clouds and the rain, which is ironically raining right now, that symbolizes your conditionings, your past programmings, what your parents said to you. Maybe you were bullied, maybe you were taught by society that this is what you should feel, or like, have you seen all the movies and the music nowadays? That's all programming. It's please watch out on what you consume. Social media, everything. I'm talking even the food, the drugs, and the alcohol, all of that. It's playing an impact on your brain and how you perceive the world. So when you clear that dark storm and those clouds and the rain through subconscious reprogramming, through inner work, through healing, by the way, this is really all in the course, you will change how you see and perceive your worth, because now you've cleared out and you've allowed the sun to come through. Now you truly see your worth. Now you believe that you are worthy because it was already always within there. You are already worthy. And it doesn't help that I'm sitting here telling you you are already worthy. I always tell this to my clients. It doesn't help that people are telling you you can do anything you want to do. But if you don't believe it inherently because your clouds are so thick and you cannot see it, you will not. It's like going in one ear and going in out the other. You have to be able to do your own work to clear the clouds. That's why I will never stop talking about subconscious reprogramming, because it will literally change your life. So once you start clearing and you see your self-worth and you realize that your self-worth inherently comes from yourself, and this really came to me when I was during ayahuasca ceremony, and I was asking, why am I so in my head? Why am I so stuck in my masculine energy? And the medicine showed me that, oh my goodness, I was made to feel independent. I had to do everything on my own. I had to struggle on my own, and I was always crying by myself in my bedroom. And it was such a alleviating moment because I cried and I didn't stop crying. And it dropped this shield, my masculine shield, and then I started really allowing myself to feel safe in my body. You don't need ayahuasca to be able to do this sort of work. However, it does help. And I always say, like, allow your life to lead you. If you're meant to do it, you will be invited. You will be called to do it. I've never once gone out and sought out a ayahuasca ceremony. I've always been invited. Okay. So then once you have done that work on your inner work, you start to up level yourself, and I'll probably do a video on that, like how to up level your style, your fashion, your makeup, your jewelry, your inner world, your brain, your friendships, your money, everything, right? Like we'll do a video on that. Then you want to start getting clear on what you want in a man. You want to be very extremely clear on your non-negotiables, on what you feel attracted to, and what traits you want in a man. And you can get very specific on this. People will tell you to get very specific on your love list. I want you to get specific, but I also want you to open yourself up to the beauty that God will provide for you. Because I created the longest list. I had 2 men come in my life that really fit the list. And I started convincing myself that this was the man for me, and I had strong attachment to this man or men. And this becomes dangerous because now you are convincing yourself and you're becoming attached, or you are not allowing yourself to see what is perhaps not going to be good for you. Okay, so you have to listen to your intuition, making sure your heart and your gut is aligned. So if your nervous system as well, having that discernment of if your nervous system is so conditioned to be attracted to dangerous or toxic men, or men that might potentially hurt you, your intuition and your body might feel naturally anxious already. But you want to make sure that if your brain and your heart and your intuition is all in alignment, then go ahead and continue fostering the relationship and seeing and letting observe this man in your life. Observe how he treats you. Observe how he shows up for you. And you can keep doing it again and again. And I highly recommend that when you get clear on the kind of man that you want, I'm going to give you mine, for example. So for me, it's really important that a man has a higher purpose. He is connected to God. He is connected to, it can be any religion. It can be his version of God, the universe. He can be spiritual. But I've noticed that since coming back home, a lot of men are atheist or agnostic, and that just makes me really sad, because if a man is not connected to any source of a higher power, he will let his ego run the show, and he will be purely focused on ego. And on top of that, I'm someone that always talks about God. I'm someone that is very spiritual. So if I cannot have those same views and same belief systems as my man, I know for a fact we are going to clash. We are not going to be able to raise kids with the same viewpoints. And I think it's very important to be able to connect with my man on these certain points and how we live our life, because at the end of the day, your values and the alignment of your values is going to be so crucial in nurturing a fostering relationship, nurturing and fostering a healthy relationship. So now, once you have gotten clear, okay, for example, it's also very important for me what type of job he's in. I cannot date a man in a 9-to-5 job. And the reason is I'm open to it. Don't get me wrong. I am definitely open to it. However, I'm someone that has a flexible schedule. I'm someone that travels a lot, and I want to travel the world, and I don't plan on living in Melbourne. I'm someone that when you change your mindset from 9-to-5 to an entrepreneur is completely different. The way that you show up in the world, the way that you think, the way that you perceive money, the way that you perceive time is very, very different. So I also would prefer a man who has that sort of flexibility, okay? Now, another thing is non-negotiable for me is a man that smokes. Now, the reason being is because I really don't like the smell of it, and health is one of my most important values. And as my partner, I want my partner to be healthy. I would love for him to take care of his health, and he doesn't have to be someone that is a gym nut or anything like that, but someone who really does value his health. And many men say they value their health, but their view on health may be very different to your view on health. A man here who perceives health as someone that is alive and he's well and he's not sick. And then you've got me who perceives health as, how can I biohack better? How can I make sure that I'm taking all my supplements and I've gotten this much of sleep and I've gotten hormone cycling and I'm eating nutritious food every day. I'm no sugar, I'm very meticulous about that sort of health. And then there are men out there, which I have met, that will take literally like 50 supplements or freaking a lot of supplements, that knows every single supplement in order for this hormone to secrete this hormone or to emit this hormone, or how to biohack to the T, that wears red light glasses every single night, that will never ever ever eat one single drop of sugar, that will fast and only eat certain foods. Like, there are different levels, right? There's different levels to how people perceive health. So you have to be very mindful of and going out there and experimenting. Okay, you have this list, you have what you are clear about, what you want in a partner. And I really encourage you to not put superficial things like it's important that he makes this much, or like, he has blue eyes. Like, yes, you want to put those things, but those are not the end all be all of, okay, he has blue eyes, he has green eyes, so I'm not going to date him. You have to be flexible, and you also have to find out what is truly important, which is someone's character, someone's morals, and someone's values, because those typically are ingrained in who they are, and that won't change. As a woman, your innate want is connection and safety. So how you feel around this man, how does he show up for you? How does he treat you? Okay? You want someone that is a little bit more obsessed with you. And I'm not saying obsessed, but a little bit more into you. Because when a man is the one pursuing the woman, and he's healthily pursuing you, he's not love bombing you, calling you every single day, but he is truly in his masculine leadership, and he is the one wanting to take the lead and taking in the process and of the speed of where the relationship goes. But for example, if a man knows, he will know. I was recently dating a man, and he wanted to see me all the time. I think it was like the first or second date, and he wanted me to meet his family, and this wasn't in a way that was too much, I would say, because I believe that I can distinguish what is too much and what isn't. He would text me every morning, but we wouldn't be texting out throughout the day. So every man is different, but you have to really discern, and when you start doing the inner work, you will start to attract really high quality men. And the thing I typically do is that if I attract someone in, and then there's something in my energy that, for example, I didn't like, maybe he wasn't committal, or maybe he was emotionally unavailable, I rewire my beliefs around that belief. That was what I noticed in myself, and the next man that comes along, he is a little bit better. He becomes better. And this is how you break patterns. You're constantly reassessing your beliefs, like Sherlock Holmes, and then the next man that comes into your life will become better. And as a woman, I want you to have the mindset that there are an abundant amount of healthy masculine men out there ready to give me the world. Because once you see your worth inside, when you see that you as a woman, you get to decide, and you don't have to put all your eggs in one basket, and you get to date around, and you get to have fun, and you get to choose who's going to be the best fit for you, the lifestyle that you want to live. And it's so important, because if you're going to have kids with someone, you want to make sure that he's going to be the best dad. And this is literally the most important decision, and I will be single, or I will choose to be alone rather than be with the wrong person. And even if that man will give me everything, like he will literally be kissing my feet, literally be doing anything and anything I want, right? But in a healthy way, and in a way that he is, because he admires who I am, and it's within his own boundaries as well. But yet, for example, he can't travel, like he's not location independent. That's something that's really important for me, and I have to let that go, because then that's me abandoning myself and sacrificing things that are truly important for my future, which is to travel and to live abroad. Again, I love living abroad, you can tell. And so As a woman, you are not sleeping with anyone. You're not indebted to even kiss anyone. Okay? I don't kiss anyone on the I made myself a rule to not kiss on the first date. And you as a woman can say no. You have to say no when you don't feel comfortable, when you don't feel safe in your body. You have to be able to set those boundaries and speak up on your mind and speak your heart, okay? And then when it comes to the dating process, once you've gotten clear and you know exactly these are your guidelines and your rules of what you should look out for when you go out there on the dating scene, then you can start playing around and you start going on all these dates with obviously men that you've vetted, that you've screened, that meet your requirements, and you can keep tweaking it along the way and really having fun and dating multiple men. I mean, I wouldn't say multiple men. I definitely choose who I spend my time and energy with because that is very valuable to me. For me to really go out there and give myself my presence to a man takes a lot of energy out of me. Plus getting ready and, going out. I am very picky even with who I go on dates with, even with who I match with. Okay, so you become very picky in that process, and then it's like a filter. You're literally filtering out who you should go on dates with and who you should give your time and energy to. Because now, when you are on dates, you want to be this beautiful queen that is an absolute joy to be around, okay? And I want your energy to be completely focused on yourself. When I am on dates, I will have men tell me that they have never felt like this before. They will feel so safe to share with me darker aspects of themselves that they typically will not share with anyone else. They will tell me that they have felt safer with me than with anyone else. And I'm telling you, I've only met them that day. And it's the ability, it's your energy. Yes, it's your energy, it's your beliefs, it's your aura. Had men tell me my aura is amazing. I've literally said, you have to look within. You have to keep your energy in your body, because men don't have that level of feminine energy in their life, and you have to be able to really connect to your body, really regulate your nervous system. Okay, because if your nervous system feels really unsafe around men, no matter what you do, you can go on all these dates and you'll just be freaked out, and then your response to them would create another response to yourself, and then it becomes a bit of a disaster. So the way I like to approach dating is the man will offer to send me an Uber, or he will offer to pick me up. And if he doesn't, I will ask, I would love for you to pick me up. I would love for you to send an Uber. And then you can also judge how his response to you is. And when I'm on a date, I am very present. I do not take my phone out. I am actively listening. I am very intrigued and curious because obviously I am somewhat interested in this man. I want to get to know this man. I want to get to know him, and I'm actively listening. So I'm very present. I make strong eye contact because I'm not intense, I'm like this, but I'm very, very present with him. And that presence is felt. You can tell when your mom and your sister or your dad is present with you or when they're not. So I'm very present with the men. And trust me when I say that men are actually amazing listeners. They are some of the best listeners that I've ever come across, because their brain is literally wired to be single-handedly focused. They can focus on one thing at a time. So if they're in date mode and they're in getting to know you mode, they will listen to you. Okay? So I'm very present. I don't plan out in my head what I'm going to say or what I'm going to ask him, and I just allow there to be awkward silences. They're not awkward silences. I allow there to be silences. I allow them to ask me questions, and then I observe what kind of questions they ask me. I observe the level of conversation that we have. And I am not afraid to tell them parts of me that are very embarrassing, that are very vulnerable, that are very authentic to me, because I don't care how they perceive me. I care how I perceive myself. And that is all you need to ever care about. If you love yourself deeply, you will know that you can never say anything wrong. And if you do, he's not the right guy in his eyes, right? You want your man to really like you for all of you, the most authentic version of you. If you feel like you have to put on a show to be someone else, he's not your man. If he tries to easily make a move on you, or if he doesn't really respect you or doesn't really listen to you, and you say you want something, but he tells you you shouldn't want that, or like, oh, we can do this instead, and he's more selfish, just ask yourself, is that the kind of husband that you would want in the future? So just being really, you want a man that is very generous. You want a man that gives, because a man that gives will, and gives to women, will, that woman will multiply, because remember, feminine energy multiplies. And when you understand that you can multiply his wealth, and when he comes in contact and in relationships with great women, the feminine energy multiplies. So if your man is giving you stress, you as a woman will multiply that stress too. Okay? You give a woman a seed and she will create a baby. You give her a home, you give her a house, she will create a home. So during the dating process, I just love being very present, asking him questions, going with the flow. Obviously, you can ask certain questions, and there's certain strategies on what kind of questions to ask. I love to get down to the deeper meaning of why someone does what they do. Why do you love this? Or like, what would you do if time and money wasn't an obstacle? Or what did you do to overcome this XYZ challenge? So these are certain questions I like to ask to gauge, right? And I'm very upfront with men. I will tell him I'm not planning on being intimate with anyone until there is commitment. And how he responds is going to be a huge indicator to how his character is, to how he perceives you. Because once you tell a man that, he will either no longer pursue you or he will continue pursuing you. And the man that will continue pursuing you will know that he's not in it for your body. You'll know he's in it for you, because of you and your essence and your personality and your energy. So that is how you go on these amazing dates. You do, as a woman, you don't do what you don't want to do, and you do what you want to do. Literally, that's feminine energy. What gives you pleasure, you do. What doesn't give you pleasure, you don't do. Okay? So that literally is, honestly, one time a man on a date told me, he showed me a photo of his sister, and his sister was around 40 something when she looked 23. I'm not even kidding. And he basically said it's because she just does what she wants to do and what she doesn't want to do. That's her secret. And she smokes like a pack of cigarettes a day. And that woman looked 23. And she does not one day step in a gym. And I was so incredibly shocked and surprised. But that woman was truthfully very beautiful. So my loves, feminine energy is the life force energy that is going to change your life. I will do more videos on feminine energy because it truly has changed my life. Understanding this work and really understanding how to connect to that natural essence, power, beauty inside of you. And please comment below what you would love to see more of. Comment down what you took away from this video, because that cements it more into your long-term memory and therefore into your subconscious mind. And I love you so much, and I'll see you in the next video.